UFC Fight Night Sacramento, Randamie versus Lad on ESPN+13 Fight Night 155 happened last night, and it was a good one. It was a decent one. There was a lot of finishes, which I'm a big fan of. Wasn't the most stacked of cards, but it delivered, and I feel like that's sort of the general consensus of these cards that kind of go under the radar. They tend to be very good in terms of things, because a lot of times when you get a lot of these high-ranked guys, they're very timid, they don't want to lose their position, they don't want to make mistakes. But when you get these lower-ranked guys, they're looking to make statements in their fights. You know what I'm saying? So I like this card from start to finish. It was very good, and there were some good fights. And we're going to go through the entire card, start till finish. Bantamweight, Benito Lopez versus Vince Morales. Benito Lopez beat both of the Morales brothers. There you go, Benito Lopez 10-1. I thought the decision could have gone either way. I know Benito Lopez got hurt in the first round and dropped, but Benito Lopez rightfully got the decision, in my opinion. Gets the job done. I don't really remember the fight that well, but I remember thinking, okay, it's going to be a split decision, but I feel like Benito Lopez might get this one. Maybe Vince Morales, who knows, but Benito Lopez got it. I'm not arguing. Gets the job done. He recently lost his undefeated streak to Manny Bermudez. Now he's back in the win column. Good fucking job to Benito Lopez. Moving on, then Renata Souza versus Brianna Van Buren. Brianna Van Buren, I mean, Livia Renata Souza just had nothing for her. Van Buren was just more muscular. She was muscling her around, beating her up in the clinch, beating her up against the cage. Kind of just doing what she wanted with her. She didn't entertain the ground. Got the job done. Ping Wang Lee versus Jonathan Martinez. Martinez gets the KO in the third round. Ping Wang Lee kind of just... He had a big exchange in the first, and then in the second and the third round, he didn't really do anything. I picked him to win this fight, but in the second and third round, I don't know what he was doing. I feel like he thought he'd maybe won it off one round. I have no idea what, but he just kind of avoided the fight for 2 rounds after that, and eventually Jonathan Martinez found the finish. Beautiful. Beautiful job. Gets the job done. It was a knee, wasn't it, if I remember correctly. It was a good job. And he was setting up that knee the entire fight as well, because every time Ping Wang Lee would throw an overhand, he'd fucking come under, droop down to escape and make his roll out. You know what I'm saying? Autobot style. Rolling out of shots. And yeah, Jonathan Martinez done it well. Planted the knee, timed it, and there's the job done. Darren Elkins versus Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall, if you throw 20 spinning wheel kicks, one of them's going to land, okay? And that's the prime example here. Ryan Hall seems like an enigma for some of these younger ranked guys to find out. I thought Darren Elkins was going to win. I underestimated Ryan Hall, okay? One thing I've noticed about him, you kind of have to be a retard to get submitted by him, you know? Like, if you don't go to his guard, he's probably not going to take you down, because he can't take you down, you know? If you go to his guard, you're kind of like, okay, just submit me. So, I don't know how he's going to get past some of the higher ranked guys, but he looked good here. Wasn't the most, like, fan-friendly performance other than the first round when he had that wheel kick. Like, the third round, he was kind of like just securing the win and moving away and making sure he didn't get clipped with anything bad. But Darren Elkins, I don't know, man. Maybe it's time to, Darren the Brain Damage Elkins. Maybe it's time for Bare Knuckle FC or Bellator, if I'm honest with you. 3 losses in a row in the UFC. You'd be a good addition to the Bellator Featherweight Grand Prix. Make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, these UFC fighters are clinging on for too long. You're not going to get the belt. Let's be real. You're 24-8. You're getting clipped and rocked most fights. Just go to Bellator, man. Make double the money and enjoy fucking beating bums. That's how it should work. And more guys should be learning from the example. Okay, Ryan Hall gets the job done. Good job. I like Ryan Hall. Very good style, very good job. Good fight from Ryan Hall. He seems to have this wheel kick and then go to his back. And if he missed the wheel kick, he'd go to his back. And if he landed it, then he landed it. It's kind of like hard to figure out. But I feel like a lot of guys will figure it out. A lot of guys with a competent jiu-jitsu game at the top will entertain that guard and will probably do some damage from it. Because if you're going for leg locks in the UFC, if you don't get them, you're in a very vulnerable position. Because you're putting yourself on bottom. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how good Ryan Hall does against the top guys. I'd like to see him versus Kron Gracie. If Gracie beats Cub Swanson, that'd be a great fight. Kron Gracie versus Ryan Hall. Speaking of Cub Swanson, Bellator. Juliana Pena gets a job done against Nito Montano. What would Shevchenko have fucking done? Jesus Christ. Juliana Pena came off like a 2-year layoff. Gets a job done against Nico Montano. Nico Montano is ranked in the top 5 of the women's division and is 4-3. Women's MMA. That's how it works. Juliana Pena gets the job done. Nico Montano was doing well in the first round, but I feel like she just didn't have the gas tank. She could be in better shape, if I'm honest with you. She could be in better shape. Juliana Pena took over in the last 2 rounds. Montano just didn't have much chances. She didn't have the strength to get off bottom. Andre Fili versus Shaman Moraes. I was surprised by this. I thought Fili was going to win. I didn't think he was going to win like this. I thought he was going to try and wrestle Shaman Moraes, grind out a decision. It wasn't going to be entertaining, but he came out there, ate some heavy leg kicks from Shaman Moraes, who's a world champion kickboxer, a Muay Thai guy. Andre Fili, fucking right hand head kick right behind it, flattened Shaman Moraes. That was a fucking good performance from Andre Fili. As much as people give him hate because he'd never really put together much wins and never really put together like a good real contenders streak, he's looking good right now, and I think he's on a 2-fight win streak. So, if history tells us anything, he'll lose his next fight against someone who's actually pretty good. So we'll see how it goes for him, because he's never been on more than a 2-fight win streak in the UFC. We'll see. He's 29 years old. He's coming into his prime. He looked fucking good. So we'll see if he can get another win. And he got a bonus. So good for him. Shaman Moraes. Oh well. You're good. I don't know. It's just weird. Muay Thai kickboxer, like, getting knocked out by a head kick off Andre Fili. It's just weird to me sometimes how MMA, the credentials of people don't seem to work. You know? Like, when you think about this fight, you think, oh, Shaman Moraes wins it on the feet all day. Well, it doesn't work like that because, you know, no gloves, no shin pads. That's just how it is. Mike Rodriguez versus John Allen. Oh, Jesus. This was a decent fight. This was a very decent fight. And John Allen pulled off the upset. Very good job. I picked Rodriguez to win, as most people did, I'm sure. But John Allen showed what a savage he was. It was a close fight. But John Allen, I feel like, did enough to win. He just had more in the tank. He had more in the tank than Mike Rodriguez. And although Mike Rodriguez was trying to stay and keep the pace, John Allen just has that Mexican Cain Velasquez body type, where you don't have all that fucking ripped muscle to fucking pump oxygen into. You know, and he was able to push the pace and get a decision win. He was taking down Mike Rodriguez. Very good performance from John Allen. I'm impressed. Main card time. Beneil Dariush close was cancelled. Marvin Vettori versus Cesar Ferreira. Marvin Vettori's good. He's very good. His last loss was a split decision loss to the current interim UFC champion, Israel Adesanya. He had a fucking tainted supplement. Came back after his time off, 6 months. And he's back. And he just beat Cesar Ferreira, who, by the way, if you don't know who Cesar Ferreira is, I was saying this before the fight on my live stream. I do a fight companion every live stream. Every weekend there's a fight, I do a fight companion. Either way, Marvin Vettori is very fucking good, and Cesar Ferreira is no fucking schmuck. I'm telling you guys, if you look at his record, yeah, it's 13-8. And you may see that and you'll be like, oh, but look at the guys he's lost to and beat. Okay, let me just read you some names. Lost to Ian Heinisch. Fair enough, it was a close decision. He won a round. Beat Carl Roberson, beat Nate Marquardt. Decent. Lost to Elias Theodorou. Embarrassing. Beat Jack Hermanson, beat Anthony Smith, beat Oluwale Bangbos, for God's sake. The legend himself, Oluwale Bangbos. Lost to Masvidal somehow. You know, it's just a weird record. He beat Thiago Santos. Like, he's been around the block. You know what I'm saying? I'm very impressed with him. And I thought that this was going to be a tough fight for Vettori. I thought Vettori would get it done, and he showed that he did. He's a young guy. He's nowhere near his prime. I think he's something like 26 years old. He's 25 years old. He has so much time to improve. Great job. Carl Roberson gets a decision win over Wellington Turman. Kind of frustrating to watch. Wellington Turman had Carl Roberson in some dangerous positions. It was a split decision, I believe. A close decision either way. But Wellington Turman just had Roberson in good positions, kept losing him, and ended up with Roberson on top of him, which is what you don't want. But Carl Roberson gets a good win. Good job. He's coming off a loss at light heavyweight to Glover Teixeira on short notice, so good job to him. Well done. I like it. Josh Emmett versus Masad Bektic. Josh Emmett gets the KO. Masad Bektic can't eat a jab that wasn't even planted down fully. Josh Emmett gets the job done. Good shot. Good TKO finish. 30 seconds into the fight. What I want to see next is Bektic versus Renato Moicano and Josh Emmett versus Shane Burgos or Calvin Kattar or Arnold Allen, one of these names coming up. Because I don't think Josh Emmett's done enough to earn himself a shot at the top 5. Because a lot of the top 5 guys, we kind of know what matchups they're going to get. But Josh Emmett gets the job done. If he wins another one against a guy below him, then he'll get his top 5 shot, in my opinion. But he's done a good job. Very good job. Josh Emmett gets the job done. Big fucking featherweight, man. Big featherweight. Uriah Faber KOs Ricky Simone. Another strange stoppage, but it happened. And Ricky Simone probably would have lost anyway. So who cares? Uriah Faber gets the job done. Good for the UFC. Bad for my betting predictions and my reputation. Good for the UFC because now we get interesting matchups. And I'll tell you this. Cejudo isn't fucking one of them. You'll be ranked number 7 or 8 when you come back. If I see you fighting for a title, I will lose hope in this company because Aljamain Sterling has been killing shit recently. Just beat Pedro Munoz. He's the number 2 or 3 ranked guy in the world. He deserves the title shot. I think he's ranked number 2. And if Uriah Faber gets it, I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. Uriah Faber, good job. I feel like he needs to win one more against a top 5 guy before we're talking about title shots. I'd watch Cruz versus Faber 4. I don't care. Faber versus Garbrandt. I reckon Faber would win, you know. Faber got hurt in that fight, but I actually reckon Faber would win against Garbrandt. I wouldn't mind it. That would be an interesting fight, which I don't know if I'd know the outcome to. If I'm honest with you. Because Faber hits hard, and Cody Garbrandt's chin is, it's left the building. You know what I'm saying? His chin's done an Elvis Presley on him. You know what I mean? And Uriah Faber's coming back looking good for his age. 40 years old, still got all the abs. Still ripped as fuck. He doesn't look 40 at all. Good job from Uriah Faber. Jermaine Randamie, another weird finish to Aspen Ladd. Aspen Ladd was hurt, but she kind of turned to face Randamie in a full guard position on the ground. And even hooked one of Randamie's legs, which I thought was weird. And I'll tell you this. If that was Ben Askren versus Robbie Lawler, if Ben Askren versus Robbie Lawler happened where Robbie's pounding Askren's head in on the ground and Askren was a pretty looking girl, the ref would step in. You've got to have the same rules regardless of who the fighters are. Okay? Ben Askren's getting his head fucking pounded in. If he was a fucking pretty girl like Aspen Ladd, okay? And fucking Robbie Lawler was an angry lesbian, which who knows he could be, I don't know about him. But they would step in on that fight there and then. But no, they're men. So they let them go on and take a bit more of a beating. And look what happens. Ben Askren comes back and gets the win. Regardless of what you think about the decision and the stoppage. He get the win on his record. And he gets the extra money. Ben Askren gets the job done. But Jermaine Randamie, I don't know about this one. This one was weird to me. But if I'm honest with you, Jermaine Randamie was just too quick. She probably would have won anyway. I mean, Aspen Ladd, you got to change your fucking diet. Because you got a bit of a belly on you. I'll be honest. I know you're a good looking girl, but you got a bit of a belly on you. Okay, you could trim that down. I know I can't talk. You could trim that down and you can make weight a little bit easier. You're putting yourself through a bit too much trouble. You're the Kelvin Gastelum of female MMA. You're the Johnny Hendricks of female MMA. Trim it down just a bit. Even just a 2 pounds. Start your fucking weight cut 2 pounds lighter. It can't be that hard. You know what I'm saying? You could be a little bit more trim at the waist. You know that. You know, I'm just saying this for your benefit. Listen, someone who is trembling on the scales is not meant to fight the next day. That is not allowed. And I feel like if this wasn't the main event, they would have called off the fight. I really do. If this wasn't the main event of their fight night, and this was on the prelims, they would have said, right, you're not fighting. We can't have it. But it was the main event, they let her go in there. Either way, Aspen Ladd, sort yourself out, sort your diet out, just go up in weight if you need to. Like, featherweight's pretty empty. You win one fight, you've got a title shot. It seems to be how it fucking works. Either way, yeah. Randamie gets the job done. Randamie's probably going to be next for Amanda Nunes. Nunes beat her before, but Randamie's a vicious striker with power and a big bantamweight. So I think that's going to be a difficult fight for Nunes. Nunes should go up, face the winner of Cyborg versus Spencer, which we're hoping is Cyborg. If she wins that, come back down, beat Randamie, drop the belts and leave. I've said it before. That's what should happen. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. The event was good. And now we've got UFC San Antonio, which is phenomenal. a phenomenal card, and I broke it down on my channel if you want to go check it out. So, hit that. Goodbye. No, seriously though, subscribe.